the flesh. The voice that I raise rattles the bones. As I slam the door, white doves flew away, thinking what's left behind.
Good afternoon. I come to you from some 5-6 miles outside of Hot Springs. So as you can see, we left this morning, but not before a very big breakfast at the diner that was delicious, and I couldn't even finish it. So it's taken us a while to walk that off. Yeah, and as you saw in the last video, we had a nice day zeroing in Hot Springs. I really enjoyed the town. I thought there was a lot to offer. They were really friendly. I really liked our hostel. And yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like 1 0 day wasn't enough. I feel like I need an extra day just to sleep. Because I was a bit frazzled yesterday running around town, getting all of our resupply. Even though this is the upteeth time that we've resupplied, I feel like for some reason I just didn't know what to buy. So yeah, I felt a little panicked there, and I felt like I didn't really get to fully enjoy the 0 day as much as I would have wanted to. But alas, we have to keep going. We can't zero 2 days in a row. So the plan today is to get to a shelter about 11 miles after Hot Springs. So for us right now, that means we only have about, I think, just less than 6 miles left. And we're just slowly going to chip away at the days. I don't really think we have that big of a plan. We are very close to 300 miles, which seems crazy because I feel like we just hit 200 miles. But, like, I mean, obviously that's a good thing if we're progressing that quickly. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with my toe. I guess we'll see when we get to camp today whether I can feel it or not, but it is what it is. My hip is giving me issues again, so fun stuff. Do you have any ailments you want to share?
Just emotionally.
Tribute has emotional ailments, so.
I miss my trekking poles.
You miss your trekking poles?
Yeah.
Oh.
I like my new ones, but I miss the old ones.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, maybe somebody can give the lone good trekking pole a good home.
If anyone's watching, coming up to Laughing Heart Hostel and needs one extra trekking pole, give it a good home.
There you go. Alright, we, as always, are going to keep hiking, and I will catch you later.
It's not for me anymore. Rushing through some dark streets, heading for the highway, while I try to straighten up things with myself. Vows have been taken back then, said I'll stay with you through better and worse. Many eyes, many ears witnessed what I said. That's what I said. I must have been mad. My mind carries.
Good morning, and welcome back. It is day, I don't know what. Had a bit of a rushed morning, in the sense that it was incredibly windy all night. Occasionally I would wake up and the wind was so strong I'd like convince myself that a tree was just gonna fall over and land on my tent. So didn't get great sleep, but Yeah, and then at around 5 or 6 o'clock, you can start hearing rain on the tent. So I think I finally got out up at around 7:30, opened my tent. It was just completely foggy all around us, and it was actively raining. So of course we sort of just rushed to pack all our stuff and make our way. Not really sure what the plan is today. There is a shelter coming up, but we really should press on to another shelter about 6 miles past that. I'm just not sure if we have the energy to do that today, so we'll see. Today is actually 1 month, so on 1 month ago, on February 26th, we left on the approach trail, and that's pretty crazy to me that we've already been out here for a month. Yesterday was exactly 4 weeks, and yeah, it's just really interesting to see how our understanding of distance and time changes as we do more and more of the trail. I remember at the beginning thinking, like 30, 40 miles was ages away. That was about 4-5 days worth of hiking. And now it doesn't seem as long anymore. So yeah, that's just a little interesting. And yeah, it's only been a month, so who knows how much longer we have to go. We are just trying to hike through the wind. I think it's supposed to pick back up. The rain's supposed to pick back up later. Not sure when. I'm assuming the shelter's going to be full by the time we get there. So we'll have to pitch our tent again tonight. We'll see how we do. I'm just really tired. I could really go for like a nice nap, I think. But oh well. We'll keep on hiking, and I'll catch you later.
My feet are weak, but my heart longs to turn around to see your face. I've played this role before, I know how it goes. Stories about a woman and her man. She'll never forget all the things that I said while a boat of ice watched the house burn in flames. No water to drown the heat of the sun that's burning you down.
Hello. So we made it to the shelter. Which one are we at?
Someone's cabin.
Jerry's cabin?
Sure, Jerry. Let's go with Jerry.
I don't know. Either way, we did 16 miles today. Once again, I feel like lately we're not having a good streak of days. It was just a terrible, terrible day. Long mileage, killer winds and rain. That just made the whole thing incredibly difficult. There were some really steep bits as well. And yeah, it just wasn't great. I think the heavy rain started at around 1:30, 2 o'clock. And we eventually got to a point where there was a sign. What mountain was it?
I don't know. It was just like a rocky outcrop, like a ridge.
There was some ridge, mountain, whatever, viewpoint. And it said one way was the exposed ridge, and then the other way was the bypass for bad weather. So with it being about 50 miles per hour winds and heavy rain, we decided, screw the exposed ridge. We're going to do the bad weather bypass. So that's what we did. And that's where we were when we hit 300 miles. So that's why I don't have any footage of a marker, because we just completely skipped that bit. Got to the shelter. Of course, it was already full of people. So we had to put up our tent, or we put up Tribute's tent, because both of us couldn't be bothered to put up our tent. I don't know. I think mine would be absolutely soaking wet if I took it out.
We deemed mine to be the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, basically we thought Tribute's tent would be a little more dry than mine.
Only just.
But even so, I couldn't even be bothered to make hot dinner. I just had a wrap. Since we didn't have lunch, I just had my wrap later. Huddled inside the little bit of the shelter that has space. Came in here to try to set up the tent, or try to set up our stuff inside the tent. I think this one has a little bit more space than mine, but it's just, everything is so terrible when it rains. Like, you open the door into the tent, rain just somehow pours in. I just got my sleeping pad out of my bag, didn't even do anything with it, just got it out, put it inside the tent, somehow there's water underneath it. Everything's just wet, and it's hard to even find the will to, like, do anything. So that's why these rainy days really, really suck, because they just make me not want to do anything. I don't want to record anything. I don't want to stop and look at any views. I don't want to stop and have lunch. I don't want to set up my stuff. Everything is wet. It's not going to dry because it's supposed to rain tomorrow again. So yeah, that's where we are. I don't really have anything else to say other than I'm having a pretty terrible time, but I think it's important to acknowledge it and document it, because I don't want to pretend like everything was all right when it wasn't. And even though it was really exciting to get to 300 miles, I just feel incredibly low right now. So it is what it is. Tomorrow's another day, another wet day. And I don't know, maybe we need to slack pack soon. You know, stay at a hostel. Tribute.
Yeah. Slack packing sounds great.
Yeah, so basically slack packing is when you either, like, you stay at a hostel and you stay there for a night, you go out the next day and you still hike, but then you get picked up and come back to the hostel, or, you know, somebody holds your stuff somewhere. But basically, you don't have to carry all of your tenting stuff. You don't have to carry a large majority of the things that you would normally do. So it makes the idea is that it makes the day go by a little bit quicker because you're moving faster without as much weight on your back. So maybe that's something we need to look into, is just staying somewhere for a few nights, slack packing, and then being able to come back and have a nice warm bed. Because, yeah, I don't vibe with the rain. The rain is what's putting me off. Just ruins the mood. The cold I could deal with, but when it's wet and rainy and cold and windy, it's just a bad combination all the way around. So anyways, enough rambling. I think it's about 7 o'clock. I think we should probably try to go to bed. I think tomorrow is another 15-mile day. So I'll let you know how it goes. Thanks for checking in. See you later. to you feeling slightly better than I did yesterday. I actually got a pretty good night's sleep considering we were sharing a tent. Yeah, it was raining when we woke up this morning, so again we had to put away a wet tent. Of course, none of my clothes dried, so had to put on wet shirt, wet socks, wet shorts. So that's super fun. We are on our way now down the trail, and I'm not really sure what the plan is. Basically, tomorrow my mom is coming down and she's staying one night. So tomorrow's Thursday. She's staying tomorrow night, leaving sometime on Friday. So having looked at the map and having looked at all of the roads that we can get off at, the only good option that we have is to get off at somewhere called Sam's Gap, which is 18 miles from the shelter that we left this morning. And there's a shelter coming up in a few miles, and then there's a shelter at mile 15. So we could either push it to the 15-mile shelter and then only do about 2.5 miles tomorrow morning, or we haven't really decided. So basically we have 18 miles to do in the space of about a day and a half. All of the other options for getting off the trail, like there's another gap past Sam's Gap, but the mileage is just too much. We will be getting in too late tomorrow evening, and we really just want to spend some time with my mom. We don't want to get in super late or anything and not have enough time to hang out. So yeah, that's the plan. We're not really sure how far we're going to go today, but at least it has stopped raining. I don't think it will continue to rain.
You better not.
And even if we have to pitch our tent again, or our tent, I mean your tent, even if we have to pitch it again, hopefully it will not continue to get drenched like it was last night, because that was not pleasant. But yeah, obviously I will keep you updated, and I will catch you down the trail. Welcome. I come to you from a random camp spot in the woods at mile 313.3 or 4 or something. So this is the first night that we are not camping at a shelter. And that's just because we pissed about our day. What was it? We started at 9,
Yep.
So we started quite late. I think once we realized that there were actual camping spot options between the shelter this morning and the next shelter, we just realized we could just take our time, because again we need to be at that gap by mid-afternoon tomorrow, and there's no real big rush for that. So yeah, we had like an hour-and-a-half lunch. We stopped in a stream, cooled our feet. Well, we mostly stopped there because I finally had signal and I had to book the hotel for tomorrow and text my mom. So that took up some time as well. So yeah, it's probably like 5:30 at this point, and we're just getting to this campsite. But yeah, we've still got daylight left.
I'm just cleaning my bed.
He's cleaning his bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good spot. I think we'll be fine here. And then tomorrow we just have to do 6 miles? Yeah, about 6 miles by noon. So that should be fine. So yeah, we're gonna chill. We have some Dr. Peppers waiting for us.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna go drink that and enjoy the rest of our evening. A little bit of a chilly morning, but I really enjoyed our first night of stealth camping, dispersed camping. It was really nice to just have an area to ourselves, take our time to set things up. Obviously the only downside is that there's no privy, but that's okay. And the weird noises that we kept hearing at night, so random howling and barking and stuff, so... But I fell asleep and it was fine. So yeah, the plan is we just need to pack up our tents. We just need to pack up our tents, and then we have 6.7 miles to get to Sam's Gap. At the moment, I think it's almost 8 o'clock. My mom is meant to be here at around 1:30. Hopefully we can get to Sam's Gap and then get a ride into town before she gets here. So that saves her the trouble of driving about 20 minutes south and then 20 minutes back up. So we'll see what we can do. And yeah, let's get on with it. Hello. We made it. We made it off trail, and we are now at our hotel waiting for my mom. So we got to the trailhead, and pretty much exactly, I put my bag down. We were gonna look into calling shuttles, hitchhiking maybe, but basically as soon as we turned up, Steve from Unicoi Shuttles also turned up and said he would take us to where we needed to go for a cheaper rate. So that was very kind of him. We made it here super early. Thankfully, we've been able to check in early. So now we're gonna sort our laundry stuff, try to make this room not stink as much for when my mom shows up in about 30 minutes. And yeah, dibs on the shower? I don't know. Yeah, we'll catch you later.
Hungry for the road all my life, thirsty for adventure all my youth, chasing all my freedoms down Liberty Avenue. Every time I hear a phrase my mother used to say to me, everything happens for a reason, get the feeling I need. A little taste of home, home, home. Just a little taste of home. I need a little taste of home, home, home. I need a little taste of home. Nothing like kitchen conversation, steam coming up off the stove, photographs down the staircase showing our stories unfold. And every time I hear a song my father used to sing to me, sweet words